So we're going to do a practice play model. So what that means is you're going to start off with a game, a modified game. You're going to play for about 5 minutes. Tom and I will walk around and silently judge you and criticize you. And then we'll work on the stuff that we think is going to help your game. And then at the end, we'll wrap it up with another game. Okay? So this game is a version of skinny singles, but it's going to be backhand to backhand. Tom, I'll take the ball. So this game, you're going to play onside to onside, and Tom's going to be at the baseline. I'm going to serve to Tom, okay? And you're just going to play a skinny singles game. Now, who's ever being served to has to start with 1 foot on or at the center line, so that the ball is naturally just going to be fed to the backhand, okay? The server, you're going to serve from wherever you are comfortable at, okay? It might be that you don't feel comfortable unless you're really close, or you might want to be back here. Doesn't matter, but you're going to serve a backhand serve, okay? Now, you know that the new drop serve rule is as long as you drop it, hit it off the bounce, it's all good. So we're going to use a slight modification on that rule. You don't have to drop the ball, you can toss it, just so you got lots of time to get ready to hit your backhand. So the game, let's say I think I'm comfortable here. I can toss the ball up, hit my serve, and then it's game on. Okay, so it's going to look something like this. All right, here we go. Then it's going to be, we'll just play it out, but we're going to try to stay to our backhands as much as we can. Okay? All right, so go ahead. We're going to play that for 5 minutes, backhand to backhand. In watching what's happening, I'm seeing some really good stuff, and I've seen some stuff that we can work on. Okay? I would say the number one thing that we can work on is footwork. Okay? Because I'm seeing stuff like this. Okay? I'm seeing what else was a really good one? When you're going sideways, I'm seeing balls like this that tend to go that way, right? And there's a reason for that, and I'll explain that in a bit. But the number one thing I think that we could all work on is footwork, okay? And we'll do a little drill after we break from here. But it's footwork, okay? So when you hit a backhand, first of all, you want to be sideways to the ball, okay? You don't want to be, so this is called an open position, like straight ahead facing the net. This would be closed. You kind of want to be closed or at least semi-closed, okay? The other thing I'm noticing is your contact points. You want to be contacting the ball in front of your foot, or at least even with your lead foot. If your backhands tend to go off to the left, is anybody left-handed here? Okay, good. So if your backhands tend to go off to the left of your target, it's a footwork problem, okay? Let me show you what I mean. So if Tom's my target, and I hit the ball off my front foot, that's where it's going, okay? My paddle's lined up there. That's if I hit it off my front foot. However, if I'm late and I hit it between my feet, I hit it here, that's where the ball's going. And if I'm really late and I hit it off my back foot, it's on that one, okay? So the number one thing we can do is get better footwork, okay? So the other thing we should probably check before we do this is your grip, okay? Now, you might not realize how you're gripping it. You're probably gripping, at least I hope you're gripping it using what's called the continental grip. So the continental grip is this one. So your paddle comes into the V of your hand, okay? Like that. Basically, just hold your paddle there, shake hands with it. Think about hitting a hammer. That's the continental, okay? Now, if you have something different other than the continental, then the stuff that I say about technique is going to change. But for the most part, we use continental because that's the Swiss Army knife of grips. It will be good for the whole game. Doesn't matter what we do, okay? So assuming that you have a continental grip, then what we want to work on is hitting the ball in forward, So let me just hit a few. I'm going to just, Tom, you can just corral these things. So a good backhand is going to be off the front foot. It's going to be a low to high. It's going to be a high finish. if I had a ball underneath my arm, it should fall out. Like if I hit a proper backhand, okay, that ball should drop out. All right, now I'm seeing most of you have a nice low to high. That's looking good. But what wasn't looking good was footwork. Okay, we're hitting the ball here. So if I hit the ball in the middle of my path, it's gonna go that way. If I hit it really late, it's gonna go that way. But if I hit it off my front, it's gonna go towards my target. Okay, so it's off the front foot. It's footwork, footwork, footwork. Okay, so we're gonna do a little footwork drill. All that's gonna happen is we're gonna be, let's go mid-court somewhere, Tom. Here-ish. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw the ball to Tom. He's gonna be turning his body sideways. That's the thing that most players struggle with, is that they don't turn their body, or they don't turn it fast enough. Like if I'm being served to, as soon as the ball is served, I should be able to figure out, is this on my forehand or is it on my backhand? And I should make that turn like now. Okay? A lot of struggling players, they wait till the ball is halfway there. Some people that really struggle, they seem to want to turn their body after the ball's bounced. That's all way too late. That's all way too late. As soon as you know it's a backhand, you got to turn your body backhand. So in this drill, all we're going to do is I got to toss the ball to Tom. He's got to turn sideways, and then he's got to do a low to high toss back to me. And I'm going to go sideways. We're just going to be tossing the ball back and forth. And the two things I want to see is I want to see you start from an open position, but then move to a sideways turn. And then when you catch the ball, I want to see your return. I want to see low to high. Okay, a low to high. All right. Now you could set up like this. Let's go middle of the court. Doesn't matter. Okay, so low to high, turn sideways. I'm going to turn sideways. As soon as he turns. As soon as I see where it's going, I'm turning. Okay, just as soon as I see where it's going. I'm not waiting for the ball to come to me. Okay, I'm turning, and then if I have to adjust, like if it's a short ball, so I'm turning, and then I can move. Okay, but do the turn first, catch the ball in front of you, low to high. Okay, all right, go ahead. This drill is footwork. This drill is going to be footwork too. Okay, so I call this drill the body cast drill. So you've seen people in upper body casts, right? They're all casted up. Their arm is frozen out here. They can't do anything. So in this drill, Tom's gonna feed me some balls, and it's about the person on the baseline. It's not about the person that's feeding the balls. So like for me personally, I'm the most accurate feeding a ball like this, like a fly swat, because I only have one moving piece. Right? That's a whole lot easier to do than to feed a ball that way. But whatever it takes. If it means you're going to throw the ball at the other person, that's fine. But in this one, what you're going to do is the feeder's going to be wherever the feeder can accurately get the ball to the backhand. Okay? But in this drill, the person back here, once the ball is coming and hopefully coming to the backhand, they're going to do. It's called a unit turn. And the reason it's a unit turn is that you turn the entire unit. Okay? Some people are good about doing this, but then they leave their paddle out front here. Right? So in my ready position, my good athletic position, the ball's coming here. I take the whole unit and go backwards, and then I'm gonna make my swing. Okay? So in this drill, I'm not gonna swing. It's a footwork drill. Okay? So what's gonna happen? He's gonna feed the ball here. I'm going to just try to stop the ball. My body's in a cast, okay? So I'm just gonna feed it here, and all I'm gonna do is just stop the ball. Okay, so we'll just do that, go ahead. So I just gotta stop the ball. Once I stopped it, I'm gonna serve the ball back to him. He's gonna catch it. Sorry, Tom, go ahead, give me a note. Okay, so I'm going to just stop it. Feed the ball back, go ahead. It's all about, I want to establish my contact point. It's off my front foot. So all I'm doing, I'm not swinging, I'm just blocking, then I'm hitting the ball back. Okay? So you do that for, I'll tell you when you're halfway through to switch. Okay? All right, what we're going to do now is we're just going to practice hitting drop backhands. Okay? So maybe, let's go baseline, Tom. You figure out where your happy place is. Like if you're having troubles getting it from baseline deep, then start up here. Whatever, doesn't matter. Okay. But basically what I want you to do is I want you to start off sideways, toss the ball, make sure the ball, when you toss it, that it's in front of you. Like, don't toss the ball back here, because I've been harping at you, hit it off your front foot. Okay? So you gotta start sideways, you gotta just drop it, hit it. Partner, sorry Tom. Your partner's just gonna catch it himself, and he's gonna repeat. So you start sideways, partner. So now, when you catch it, go ahead and hit Tom. Sorry, Tom, hit a backhand. Hit a backhand, bud.
So backhand.
Yeah, hit a backhand. Okay? Now, normally I wouldn't run around my forehand, right? Let's just ignore that. But what I want you to do, if you're waiting for the ball, I want you to be facing the net. I want the person to try to hit it to your backhand so that, right, you do that sideways turn, catch the ball sideways, okay? So he's got to face me, I'm going to try to hit to his backhand, he's got to turn sideways, he's got to catch it, then I'm going to stand this way, he's going to hit to my backhand, I'm going to catch it. He's got to catch it, okay? Wow, that's nasty, right? Okay, so it's just this. Okay, and then he does repeat. Okay, all right, so go do that. Okay, so far we've been lining up sideways and hitting a ball. So now I want you to challenge yourself a little bit. I don't want you to be sideways. I want you to be facing the net. You toss the ball up, and then you move your body and do the whole thing. Okay, because right now there's been minimal footwork. So it's just gonna look like this. Toss it up, turn. And hit, toss it up, turn, and hit. Okay, so it's what we're adding is this unit turn. Okay, so toss it up, turn, and when you toss it up, give yourself a very friendly toss, like really high, so you have lots of time to get around to hit the ball. Okay, so add that to your drill. Okay, so it's footwork. It's hitting in front. And we've been talking about hitting the ball low to high, but you don't have to hit it low to high. Like a low to high should generate a top spin shot. Okay, so Tom, just shag these. Okay, so low to high is going to give you a ball that's going to spin like this. It's going to hit and jump forward. Okay, that's a low to high. You can also do the exact opposite. You can go a high to low. So that's a slice. Okay. Now a slice backhand for a lot of players is just a more normal, natural kind of a swing. Okay? And what a slice backhand does is when the ball hits the ground, it stays low. Okay? So a slice backhand just looks like this. It's a high to low. High to low. Okay? Now the problem with a slice backhand, it's really hard to get it deep. But the nice thing about a slice backhand is once the ball hits, it skids and stays low, and it can be tough to deal with. Okay, so same drill, but now when you toss the ball, exactly the same. You're facing the net. You got to toss it. You got to do a side turn. But this time, just try to go high to low. Okay, so one more time. Toss it up, high to low. Right. So both Tom and I have a natural slice. I tend to use this one when I have lots of time. But if someone's serving a hard ball to me, I'm either doing it very flat, or if I have enough time, I'll slice it. I use my low to high when, let's say, we've hit a drive and all they could do is block it, and we get a friendly ball back that gives me enough time. Then I'll go low to high because it takes more time. Okay, it just takes more time. I can react, and I can, like the ball. If I want to hit a low to high, I want a ball to be sitting up fairly high. But on a slice, I can be down like that and just be slicing and dicing all day long. Okay, so just give this exactly the same drill, but now just go high to low. More across your body kind of thing, and just play with that for a bit now. Tom and I, we're going to split up now. We're going to work with groups of 4, and all we're going to be doing is we're going to be feeding you balls and trying to coach you at the same time. Okay, so I want both of you I want you onto the sideline, and I want you at the center line, just so I have the angle to hit at your backhand. So basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to hit one to your backhand, I'm going to hit one to your backhand. So you're going to hit a moving ball. That's what we're doing now, okay? You're going to be hitting a moving ball. After you hit your ball, you're going to come down the center line to where Tom is. Tom is going to, we're just trying to be COVID friendly here, okay? So you two guys are going to be a rotation amongst the two of you,
Okay.
and then you two are going to rotate amongst the two of you. Just remember that. So you guys are going this direction. Carol, when you hit it, you go this way, okay? And that's just about a COVID thing, that's all, okay?
Now, are we doing the spinning or are we doing just the back?
You're doing whatever, so I would say if I give you like a really juicy, high bouncing ball, I would try to go low to high. If I hit you a low ball, you probably don't have time to go low to high. It's probably a safer shot to go high to low, okay? In other words, low ball slice, high ball top spin, okay? All right, here we go. Okay, ready? So you come around this way. There you go. So, even though this was a backhand clinic, it really is a footwork clinic, right? Like it's footwork. Footwork's the foundation. If you got lousy footwork, you're playing catch up. You're making all sorts of accommodations. You're using your wrist when you shouldn't use your wrist because you're late and the ball's past your foot, your front foot already. Now you're using your wrist to try to catch it up. So we've done long shots like ground strokes, baseline to baseline, basically. We're gonna switch it a bit. We're gonna do now some short stops, and we're gonna just do some dinking. Okay. Now you're gonna do a really short drill, maybe 3 minutes long, because you're gonna use some energy on this. We just call it paddle-free dinking, and it's a half-court game. You're gonna play it like a game, be competitive, but the rules are you must catch the ball with both hands. Must be with both hands. Okay? If you reach, you catch with one hand, that doesn't count. Point goes to the other guy. Okay? But basically, you catch it with both hands, you're gonna throw it with both hands, and it's the kitchen. That's our court. Okay? So you come back here. You always come back to this right position. So after you release it, you're always coming back home, which is here. Okay, so that's the game. So now we're just gonna play a dinking game. Okay, so that whole thing was all about footwork, right? Like, yeah, you're not hitting the ball far, so yeah, you could do this, you could do this, you could do that. But really, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you, once again, good footwork, hit the ball in front of you. Do you have to? No, I could make it happen this way, right? But really, it's all about hardwiring your brain to move, okay? Because too many of us are more happy just to reach and start flicking rather than hitting a proper dink. Now, with it, if you're gonna hit a proper dink shot, you're gonna want to have a 90 degree, okay? And the only hinge on your arm that's moving really should be your shoulder. So when you hit it, it's this thing that's moving. Eventually, if we're going to teach you how to put more spin on the ball, yeah, we're going to add some wrist to it. But for now, that's our stroke. Okay? So we're just going to play a dinking game, onside to outside. Sorry, bud. And if I hit it long like that, go ahead and play it out. Sorry, Matt. Thanks. Okay, so that's your game. It's about hitting a ball that's fed to you. Okay? So the scenario for this shot is really a third shot, is a fourth shot. Okay, so here's the scene. Tom served, I've received, I'm now at the net. Tom's trying to hit a third shot drop to come and join me at the net, right? That pattern is kind of universal. So this shot is really good, it's a fourth shot. And it's really good to keep the other guys back. If he doesn't hit a perfect drop shot, I should be able to roll it and pin him back there, okay? So he's just gonna, in a second we're gonna split. Tom and I will be the feeders, and we're gonna get you to be really athletic at the net, paddle in front, and if he hits a perfect drop shot, I'm gonna have to let him have it. I'm gonna have to let him drop it, and I'm just gonna try to bunt it back. But if he makes just the slightest mistake, then I can reach forward and roll it, I'm gonna roll it. Okay?
I'll put him high on purpose? Or?
No, just whatever. Okay, so that's just too good. I gotta let him have that. That's too good too. Okay, don't be so good, Tom.
I missed it. Now, the lower, the slower. So on that one, the first one, I gave it a pretty good ride. That one that was low here, really slow. Okay, so we're gonna feed. You're gonna reach for it, you're gonna roll it, and if it's low and slow. Okay, the goal for this shot is not to win the point. The goal for the shot is to keep them there. You know how hard it is to hit a third shot drop, right? So if you can make them hit 3 third shot drops in a row, chances are the third one's not gonna be that great, right? So it's just all about keeping them deep, okay?